Hey there, my name is Shlok Bhandari, and today in this video we are gonna talk about the 11 scenes where India has had its reference in the very popular American sitcom Friends. Okay, so talking about our very first scene where Ross hears to this little girl about what her father said, that she could have a visit to Taj Mahal after she cleans up the entire house. But to this, Ross surprisingly replies that you would do so much just for visiting India, which actually tells that Ross thinks that India is not a place worth a visit, not after all this hard work. But hey buddy Ross, India is still not that bad a place to be. But further it gets even more clear when the girl says that she is referring to the Trump's Hotel Taj Mahal situated in New Jersey and not about the Taj Mahal situated in India. आगे बढ़ते हैं हमारे सीन नंबर 2 पे, where we can see that Ross is really nervous while he's delivering his first lecture and ends up speaking in an European accent, to which Monica and Rachel tries to make fun by speaking in foreign accents, and where Rachel moves a step ahead by saying the sentence that Bombay is very hot at this time of year. And again, nothing to comment about except that Rachel's trying to say that Indians say very instead of very. Okay, so in the present scene, it's where Ross comes up with a name for establishing a fake 6-year long-term relationship of Phoebe with her ex Vikram Mukherjee. More surprisingly, इस scene में Ross को ये specify करना पड़ता है कि Vikram is a real name क्योंकि उसको लगता है कि ये कोई fake या बहुत weird सा नाम है. And adding more to its Indian background, he says that Vikram is a freelance kite designer and that he sniffs glue to get intoxicated, which has to be really funny if you have watched this trending video of Kamlesh, the one right there on your screen. Lastly, the scene ends where Ross makes a phone call to Phoebe for making her story more realistic and says that, "Hey, I am Vikram," in a totally solid Indian tone. Now this is the scene where Ross is making out with her girlfriend Mona in his apartment, and where she comes across an idol to which Ross says that it's an 18th century Indian artifact from Calcutta, and when seen more vividly we come to know that it's the idol of Lord Ganesha. And the funny part being that when she accidentally breaks it, Ross says that he had bought it from the Pier 1, which is a company which imports handicrafts from different countries. तो भाई यहाँ बात हो रही है योगा की, मोर अप्रोप्रिएटली योग. और अगर इसकी ओरिजिनेशन एंड हिस्ट्री की बात की जाए तो एज पर वेदास इट वाज ओरिजिनेटेड 5000 years ago. एंड और अगर इसकी पॉपुलैरिटी की भी बात की जाए तो बहुत सारे ऐसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं जिन्होंने योग को पॉपुलराइज किया है, बहुत सारे वर्ल्ड के डिफरेंट पार्ट्स पे स्प्रेड किया है. एंड इन द यूएस इट was already practiced from the 1960s, which can be seen in American movie from that time. But as for WhatsApp forwards, it's a fact not to deny that मोदी जी ने योगा को popularize किया है. So this is the scene where we see when Ross and one another character are greeting each other with a thing that is Namaste, and which is closely associated with yoga. I don't think so. Namaste is a very new term in these days, not just because of the corona, which damned the entire tradition of shaking hands while greeting each other. Namaste is a part of Indian culture and a way of greeting each other while either departing or meeting. And now coming halfway down our list, this is a reference where Rachel comes to know that babies tend to poop a lot many times during the day, and to her surprise she replies that do the babies have Indian food? Now, Indian food is really very famous for its spicy taste, masaledar taste, which tend to have a bitter look on our digestive system. And so yes, that many multinational food chains have switched over to the Indian styles when they come to India, like the McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Domino's, all have made and brought new Indian tastes which are spicy and not more like they taste in other countries. And now talking about the term karma. The philosophy of karma is closely associated with the idea of rebirth in many schools of Indian religions, like and particularly Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. So I think it's in a way related to the Indian culture. So I brought it into this list, and the scene really turns out to be funny when Phoebe is telling all about why she had the best karma this week, and then Ross suddenly interrupts to say that she just hit a bike, and then Phoebe, to my surprise, says that it was the karma of the bike man and not hers. Moving ahead, now we talk about the scene where all of the six friends are going to attend the Geller's wedding anniversary party, and Joe is all set to give them a book called the Kama Sutra for the elderly. Now, Kama Sutra literally relates to the meaning erotic love. It is related to India because it is dated to the year 400 BCE to 200 CE and was written by the Indian philosopher Vatsayana. And hey Joey, well done, bro. And now that I'm sure that all these sort of actions of yours made you stay single till the end of the show, and to the fact that made me more depressed while watching the last episode of the show. Now this is a scene where Ross seems to be really depressed after his first divorce, and he has got a monkey, while all of his other 5 friends say that why don't you just have a roommate instead of a monkey. But to its reply, Ross says that it's pathed. He says it in a very broken language, and later clarifies it that it's an Sanskrit word which means a cool way of living life. And even Chandler uses the words Devanagari, which is an Indian language and has its own script. And now finally, last but not the least, when Phoebe really gets pissed off with a phone because it keeps on ringing when one of her friends, which she is really angry on, calls her again and again. तो जब Phoebe बहुत ज़्यादा चिढ़ जाती है, वो अपना फ़ोन एक पॉट में डाल के ओवन में डाल देती है. The other character present in this scene is Monica, who says that it's a delicacy in India if you do this. Now, I really didn't completely understand why she referred to it as a delicacy in India, but I think she might be referring to the phone as some sort of attractive or a really precious thing, and that it might be a really big thing for it in India. But I'm still not absolutely and completely clear about this scene. While delicacy also has its another meanings like rare, desirable, and it also might be a tact or consideration. So I am not sure about the meaning of this scene. Well, that's it from this video right now. You might be thinking of some other references too where India has been referred in this show, but just as a matter of fact and clearance, that the Native Americans from among the different names they are called, Indians is also a name, and so those references are out of my list while I'm referring to the India from South Asia, or the one that is original. And one of the reasons why Native Americans are also called Indians is that while Columbus the explorer was on one of his voyages, he seemed that he had reached the Indian Ocean, but in fact he had reached the Caribbean Sea, and so he called those people the Indians, and thus the name persisted. Hope that it was fun watching this video, and goodbye till you receive the notification for my next video.